camera shot for that too, so it makes it nice. And we do the dance just like we do with the dances, except at the very last when we hold this line, we don't have enough people in the circle. So we're just gonna
hold it up. Can we hold hands though?
We could.
Just in a line.
I can't say it to Sue. We've practiced it just
Like this, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be more visible than
Yeah.
if we hold
That's
hands
true.
too. So,
Okay, that's good.
so,
So I just Aloha. So yeah, this is so good. You look wonderful. So there'll only be 3 of us listening?
yeah, Cindy's playing. Cindy, are you playing up there?
I don't know yet.
Okay. I guess you better find out pretty quickly.
Okay, and Judy, run through the things with me so I know this.
Twice.
All right, yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Toledo on this 27th day of April 2025. We are glad you are here, whether in our sanctuary right now or a place and time of your choice on YouTube. We are a church with no official creed, and our only doctrine is love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. One of those shared values is interdependence, which will be an inspiration for the service today. We need each other, and all of nature is part of our interdependence existence. We welcome everyone as we sang in our opening song, and we strive to care for our planet. I am Cindy Gilmore, today's service associate, and I'm here with Judy Lee Troutman, who will be presenting our annual Green Sanctuary service. Jeffrey Maxey, our music director, is at the piano today and directing our First Unitarian Choir. Wendy DeBoard will read today's story, and our tech bay includes producer Walter McGee, who is in the hospital right now. We wish him well. And working behind the scenes is director Krista Snyder, and Jeff Slauson is positioning cameras, and the music director Jeffrey Maxey is also working with sound. Julia McGee, the acting president of our board of trustees, provides general support for our tech team. There are many more church members helping today too, with greeters in the lobby, religious education helpers for today's RE activities, and we have a kitchen crew led by Carla Logan Mercer, preparing for coffee hour and today's potluck. If you would like to volunteer in any of these areas, please let us know. If you are a visitor, you may notice in the pew rack in front of you a few cards which describe aspects of Unitarian Universalism belonging and membership. There is also a yellow card that if you you may use to introduce yourself to us. If you include your email, we will send you our weekly email with news of our various activities. As you meet people today, feel free to introduce yourself and ask any questions you may have. Now, there are a couple of ways to help make this a sacred space for all members in attendance. If you have an electronic device, please put it on silent. Nope, I think I did that. I left it out there. If you have an electronic device, okay, including notifications your phone might receive. We also have candles and in chalices at this table in front of the pulpit, and you are welcome to come up and light them for your personal joy or concerns anytime music is playing during the service. Now, just one more announcement. Before we begin our service, it's Potluck Sunday, and Carla tells us there is a Hawaiian luau in honor of today's sermon theme. All are welcome, as there is always plenty of food. I think that completes our opening announcements, so let us begin our service.
Aloha. Aloha. The Hawaiian greeting means, depending on the context, hello, goodbye, but also peace and I love you. And today's service will also be about another Hawaiian phrase, malama aina, which means to care for all of the earth, and that will be our focus today. Now, as Cindy lights the chalice, please join me in reciting the chalice lighting words which are on the screen and in your order of service. Our chalice has a spirit of Unitarian Universalism. We light it centered in love. May it glow with sacredness and shine for each and all. Now, Cindy will lead us in the covenant, which is not a creed, but is generally agreed upon by our congregation.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Now, as our first spiritual practice, we will look beyond ourselves to our current local and world situation, as well as concerns and celebrations in our congregation. Daily news continues to be shock and awe. Many of our cherished values, including the rule of law and our checks and balances to protect our Constitution, are seriously threatened. We are losing long status and friendship with longtime international neighbors and friends. Diseases that were historically controlled are now recurring, and our government no longer protects us from these renewed and new health challenges. At the same time, our national park employees are being reduced so that these precious protections of our national resources are seriously compromised. Climate change is exacerbating disasters such as wildfires and serious flooding from hurricanes, while at the same time relief funds and first responder resources are being reduced. Most pertinent to this green sanctuary service, recently the Environmental Protection Agency announced plans to target more than 24 rules and policies in what the agency called the most consequential day of deregulation in U.S. history. Details are lacking, but it seems that when we most urgently need regulations against further damage to our environment, we are going to lose or weaken many existing regulations. All these things have made depression and anxiety prevalent, but we need to gather in a community of like minds and shared values, because if we give in to despair, we will not be able to do the actions we need to survive. Our church is such a community, and we hope that you will find some inspiration and solace here. I know that everyone has heard of the death of Pope Francis this past Easter Monday morning. Many have expressed mourning at the loss of the people's Pope. I hope that we also celebrate a long life well lived. Pope Francis always championed the poor, the marginalized, immigrants, and offered dignity and respect to the LGBTQ, even when encountering criticism from the church he served. I believe he embodied the message that Jesus gave his followers, that we are to love everyone without exception. May the Catholic Church choose wisely for his successor. We are aware that many here and among those watching at home are experiencing personal concerns and joys. May we hold these personal challenges and celebrations in our hearts also. Our opening hymn today is number 1007 in the Teal hymnal, "There's a River Flowing in My Soul." Please stand as you are willing and able. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river You already did.
Okay,
It's on.
it's on? It is? Oh, it is. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the legend of Turtle Island. And this is a creation story, which is what the ancient people did to explain things when they couldn't come up with any other explanations. So in the beginning, there was no land, only a vast, endless ocean. And above it was the sky world, and that's where the spirits lived in harmony. One day, Sky Woman fell from a hole in the sky. That is a very unfortunate incident, let me tell you. And in her hand, she had seeds. And seeds are like the beginning of new life. So she was falling, and the birds came up from the water and tried to slow her down and keep her afloat. But they knew she needed a safe place to, stay. So the turtle came up out of the ocean and he said, "She can lay on my back." And that was great, but there was nothing else going on there. So the animals went down in the ocean and tried to grab dirt from the floor of the ocean to put on top of the turtle. But they were not very successful until a muskrat, of all things, was able to grab some in his paws and put it on top of the turtle's back. And so he just kept diving down there and putting the mud up on the turtle's back. And Sky Woman planted her seeds. And once she planted her seeds, the mountains rose, the rivers flowed, and the forest spread all around. And to this day, Native Americans still call the world Turtle Island. Thank you.
There's an island across the sea, beautiful Kauai, beautiful Kauai, and it's calling, just calling to me, beautiful Kauai, beautiful Kauai. In the midst of Fern Grotto, Mother Nature made her home. These are falls of Walua, where lovers often roam. So I'll return to the island across the sea, beautiful Kauai, the beautiful Kauai. In the midst of Fern Grotto, Mother Nature made her home. Neath the falls of Wailua, where lovers often roam. So I'll return to the isle across the sea, beautiful Kauai, beautiful Kauai, beautiful Kauai, beautiful Kauai.
Thank you, Jeffrey. That was beautiful. Now for our second spiritual practice, turning inward, Earth Day Prayer by Laura Horton Ludwig, who was 20 years a Unitarian Universalist minister and now is in private practice. Spirit of life, Spirit of earth, Spirit of all that breathes and all that is, we love you. We love this planet and its people and its beings. We love this interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. We love it all, and we want it all to be well and blessed and healthy. But we are human, and as people, our hearts are still small. So often our love and our sincere desire for the well-being of all is not yet enough to restrain our collective desire for more for ourselves, more money, more power, more things. So often we act in the service of that desire for more in ways that harm our fellow humans and the countless beings with whom we share this earth. And so often, even when we would do otherwise, we feel powerless. The problems are so big, the scale so enormous. What can one person or one small group really do? But today, let our prayer be for hope and commitment to stay in the struggle, to do what is right as best we can each day, and to love you, Spirit of earth and ocean, stars and rocks, beings of every kind, not least our human neighbors, to love this glorious whole as we love ourselves, for we are you and you are us. Blessed be. Now please join me in a minute of silent meditation, contemplation, and prayer, followed by reflection hymn number 404. Spirit of truth, of life, of power, we bring ourselves as gifts to thee. Oh, bind our hearts in His sacred hour, in faith and hope and charity.
This is charge. This is Charge from the Earth by Irene Glass and Rebecca Savage. There is a song beneath the soil. 10 million voices raise their call in no human language. Life flows through the tangle of roots, mycelium, microbiota, and crawling, burrowing, tunneling life. The song flows upward through the trunks and stems and blades of tender grasses and races out into the air. It is picked up and carried on, no human tongues. It is in the footfall of paw and hoof. It hums in the buzz of wings and the fluttering of feathers. It shines on scales and fins and slithering skins. And if we are quiet and pay attention, sometimes we remember that we are part of this song as well, and we have notes to sing. The Anthropocene is an experiment. What happens when we humans forget that the life around us is part of us? That these lives have no less inherent worth and dignity? How many more singers of the Earth Song will go silent forever? Today we are charged to remember, to know that as we live together in community, we are also in community with the silently singing lives of the vast congregation of Earth as well. The interdependent web of existence is no allegory. It is as real as the heart beating within our chests. We are charged to do what we can to help those who cannot advocate with the human language, who cannot scream for help when they are suffering. We have a role to play in softening the blow of the age of humans. We have a voice that can help to shape the world to come. We are so charged in the name of the sacred song, the tapestry of life, of which we are part. Let us remember and then act.
Thank you, Cindy. She'll say I made her do it, but I really appreciate the support that she's given me, and Sue as well. Aloha Spirit and Green Sanctuary. I've led the Green Sanctuary service for many years, an opportunity to remind us all of our congregation's commitment to caring for our planet home. I do not speak as an expert. I include myself in this challenge to renew our commitment to caring for the earth. Jane Goodall reminds us, what you do makes a difference. And you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. Let us take a moment this morning to really think about what kind of difference we want to make in caring for our planet. What are the things that we can individually do to add to our congregation's collective efforts? This morning's story stressed that Turtle Island is more than just a creation story. It is a symbol of sacrifice, cooperation, and the sacred balance among people, animals, and the earth. Recently, 4 members of the Social Justice Committee, which includes Green Sanctuary as one of the programs, traveled to Hawaii. I traveled with Cindy Gilmore and Sue Childers, who are helping me with this service. Since we were together for 12 days, we had the opportunity to do a little creative thinking about how we could add this experience of Aloha Spirit to the Green Sanctuary service. Karen Porter went to Hawaii also, just as we were coming home. Karen and I have been to Hawaii many times and have already experienced the Aloha Spirit. Karen prefers to work quietly behind the scenes, but she has been the hardworking champion of our Green Sanctuary certification and always helps proof my script. So how does the Aloha Spirit relate to Green Sanctuary? The Hawaiian people remember the spiritual connection with the land and the sea, their interdependence with nature. It's a former language teacher here. language reflects culture. The Hawaiian word for land is aina. It means land, yes, but far more than that. Aina comes from ai, to feed, to sustain, to nurture. And na is a suffix which breathes life into verbs. Aina is not just soil beneath your feet. Aina is every force that nourishes your spirit, your body, your future. It is relationship. It is responsibility. It is life itself. Interdependence is one of our Unitarian Universalist core values. We need each other, and we depend on nature too. We know that scientifically, but it becomes more centered in love when we think of it in terms of a spiritual connection. And we need to also consider the values of justice, climate justice, and equity. Instead of feeling we humans have dominion over the rest of nature, we need to think of having dominion with all of nature. The Hawaiian people have retained their spiritual connection to the land and sea. They also apply very practical approaches to honoring that connection. Honolulu and Waikiki on Oahu have now grown into high-rise megacities with over 1 million inhabitants. It's a bit like New York City, but cleaner and kinder. On Woody's and my first visit there, we ventured out walking. If we paused at a street corner, people would stop and offer to help us find our way. On this trip, Cindy Sue and I saw a homeless person collapsed in the path we were walking. He looked like he was sleeping. When we returned, some kind souls had moved him onto the grass, covered him with a blanket, and given him water and food. I don't think that kindness often happens in our mainland megacities. Cindy Sue and I had the opportunity to drive north out of the city. We saw a beach park that permitted the homeless to use the beach showers during the day. At almost the northernmost point of Oahu, we ate at a marvelous food truck. Delicious shrimp scampi that we ate on sheltered picnic tables. When we took our beverage cans, paper plates, and napkins to the trash, there was a man there carefully helping sort the refuse into the appropriate recycle containers. On the fourth day, we flew to Kauai, my favorite island. All of the islands are solidified lava from volcanic eruptions. Hawaii, or the Big Island, the youngest island, still has an active volcano that is currently forming a small lava outcropping. Karen Porter spent some of her trip this year on the Big Island. Kauai is the oldest of the islands, and the volcano has long been dormant. The lava has formed a beautiful agate core covered with pulverized lava that became a fertile earth base. Birds and ships introduced seeds, which grew to create a tropical rainforest to give Kauai its nickname, the Garden Island. Jeffrey's song, Beautiful Kauai, celebrates the island's beauty. I won't give a whole travelogue here, but there is a National Wildlife Center which shelters the many birds of the island and the lighthouse. Among the birds to be seen there are the red-footed boobies and the Laysan albatross, which has a wingspan of up to 80 inches. The birds are protected in Hawaii, though they suffer from entrapment in long-line fishing gear and from ingesting the plastic debris which pollutes all of our oceans. The center is closed for renovation, and it remains to be seen how long that will take, given the recent cutbacks to national parks. The Kilauea Bakery nearby was one of our favorite places for lunch. Counter service offered organic soups, salads, and pizza, plus a plethora of delicious pastries and pies. I bought my birthday pie there. After you had paid for the meal, you could choose bio-friendly tableware for takeout or china, glass, and stainless tableware to eat at the outdoor tables. After eating, customers sorted their tableware into bins for washing and reuse or appropriate recycling bins for disposable products. As on Oahu, recycling was evident everywhere on Kauai, in the resorts, hotels, and all of the eateries. This is one thing we could all do better. The next time you are in coffee hour, perhaps today, take a few extra minutes to sort your trash in the recycling station Karen has set up in Fellowship Hall. There are many other environmental efforts on the island. Solar panels are being added to resorts and in homes. We only saw roadside litter once. People care about their island's beauty. The beaches are maintained every day. Many endangered species are protected by strict laws with financial penalties. Every winter, thousands of humpback whales travel to the warm, shallow waters of Hawaii to mate, give birth, and raise their young. Hawaiian Island Humpback Whale National Marine Sanctuary protects these whales and their habitat. The honu, or Hawaiian green sea turtles, can weigh up to 250 pounds and measure 5 feet long. Green sea turtles have lifespans that average between 60 and 80 years. The honu are protected, especially during their mating and egg-laying season, which means that some campgrounds are closed during the summer season. Even though that is their tourist season, they want to protect the turtles. I sincerely applaud the Aloha spirit to love the land and sea, but there are perils in paradise. Climate change has affected the islands as much as it has affected the coastal areas of our huge mainland North American island. On July 16, 2018, an epic Kauai storm brought 28 inches of rain in 24 hours. It caused landslides, floods, and damaged homes. The roads north of Princeville, that's in the north, were washed out. Hanalei Pier, Puff the Magic Dragon, that was in Hanalei. The pier was destroyed. It took several years to rebuild, and you can still see the hillside netting to try to avoid further landslides over the road. The historic Hawaiian town of Lahaina on Maui experienced the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than a century in August 2023. It killed 102 people, displaced thousands, and turned the historic town into ashes. There's been a lot of progress to rebuild Lahaina, but just as in mainland towns in California and the Pacific Northwest, and now in Appalachia, the affected towns may never be the same. And federal aid is being cut. I also read recently that Hawaii's food supply is highly import dependent, with more than 90% of its food coming from outside the state. This is partly due to population increase and to the loss of the plantation culture that could not compete economically with other markets. Reading this reminded me of what Marcy Kaptur had to say years ago about Ohio importing over 90% of its food despite its rich farmland. The Hawaiians are supporting small farmers markets in a big way. We have those available in Northwest Ohio also, Supporting them may be another thing that we as individuals can do to make a difference. So I will pause in my comments about the Aloha Spirit and give a quick reminder of what we do in our Green Sanctuary program here at the church. As a reminder and information for new folks here, on December 7th, 2011, the church received accreditation in the UUA Green Sanctuary program after several years of study and program. The whole church was involved, and you can read the screen to give you some of the various things that we did over about a 3-year period. David Murray and the grounds crew have greatly enlarged and improved the Compassion Garden. If you are interested in having a plot, please see Karen Porter today. And this is an aerial view of the Compassion Garden. It's really been enlarged. Growing some of our food as organically as possible is something we can do. Water conservation from roof runoff is one of the recent improvements. The Sacred Grounds program of the National Wildlife Federation encourages diverse places of worship to steward the earth in responsible and life-sustaining ways. Many local organizations, including the Multi-Faith Council, sponsor workshops. Our church has a rain garden with native plants that is part of our certification in Sacred Grounds. So we have 2 certifications. We have Green Sanctuary, and we also have Sacred Grounds. The rain garden absorbs stormwater runoff from impervious surfaces like our parking lot. Our solar panels are a big step we have taken since our Green Sanctuary accreditation. Many church members were involved in this project. We take recycling seriously in our congregation. I already encouraged you to recycle after potlucks. Karen Porter organizes styrofoam recycling, and we collect it in our garage. And various helpers, including the Gambles, take styrofoam to Ann Arbor. We also take some non-food, non-drink items to Lot Industries here locally, which charges a fee of $5. Mary Souther graciously takes our used batteries to Bedford Township Hall for recycling. Watch your UUFYI for details about recycling opportunities. If you are not sure of what you can recycle at home, contact your county for useful information. Karen Porter and others put weekly suggestions in UUFYI for recycling and other environmental issues. Rebecca Phillips is planning to add some environmental tips to UUFYI. Tim Reichard posts information about the Toledo and Perrysburg Citizens Climate Lobby, which promote climate solutions for a livable world. In 2024, our church received recognition for our outstanding efforts towards care for the environment. We received a SAVE Award from Lourdes University. Reverend Tim insisted that Karen accept the award publicly. She prefers to operate behind the scenes, but she richly deserves recognition. Our denomination is supporting the environment in a big way. The most recent edition of UU World, which many of you get, and it's online as well, has an article on a new way to connect on climate justice. The UUA also presents Green Sanctuary 2030, which invites congregations to engage according to their own capacity. To apply for yearly recognition, all that is required is an annual progress report of at least one project that we're still doing. We would welcome someone in the congregation who would like to organize this renewed Green Sanctuary program. So it's another thing somebody could do. I think we should celebrate Earth Day every day. But you might want to at least extend this service this afternoon. The Multi-Faith Council is co-sponsoring a Multi-Faith Earth Day celebration just down the street at Holy Trinity Lutheran Church, east from here on Glendale, across from our neighbor Park Church. It is from 2 to 6 p.m., this afternoon includes brief multi-faith prayers, and if I survive the service, I'm going to be given one of them. Vendors, food, and a community organizations fair. All are welcome. Now we are going to add a little fun part of this service. While we were in Hawaii, we were able to see some authentic hula dancers. Hula as a tradition has training schools which specialize in both traditional and modern hula. They've just had a big festival in Hilo on the Big Island, and the hula winner for 2025 was selected. I was able to watch some of that online. We're not going to engage in cultural appropriation, but Cindy Sue and I decided we would like to do a hula-inspired dance of universal peace that embraces the theme of caring for the earth. Cindy was so inspired that she purchased a lovely ukulele in Hanalei. She has been working with a teacher and will accompany us. I understand from Reverend Tim that we may be having a hula lesson period during the summer here at the church, which... So, we are joined by a friend who dances with me regularly, and we hope that you might enjoy this rare occasion to dance a little hula in church. Cindy and Sue even gifted you with leis as you came in today. I hope everybody got one. So you're already dressed for the occasion. The words of this dance are partly in Hawaiian, so I will explain them. The heiau is a traditional ancient Hawaiian temple. It was outlawed, but they still exist, at least the remnants of them, and they're still visible in places, and people have a kind of hushed way of respect near them. In this dance, heiau stands for Mother Earth, so it's a metaphor. So here are some of the words. E malama ika heiau. That means take care of the earth. And it's sung twice. E malama ika heiau. And then e malama pono ika heiau. That means do a really good job of it. And that's kind of one of the strongest affirmations I've heard in a church, except maybe in gospel churches, but it's a very strong amen. And then the English part doesn't need any translation, but I can do some of the movements for you. Earth and sky, sea and stone, hold this land in sacredness. Well, both the Hawaiian part and the English part are repeated. And now a few of us will demonstrate the dance in the area of the choir. And then we'll ask you to join us if you're willing. But you can watch us first.
This was agreed to after numerous Mai Tais. And somebody's influence.
I never wanted to be known for making good Mai Tais, but they've probably made it possible for me to be known for that. So anyway.
There's worse things.
Yes, there are definitely worse things, yeah. So. E malama I ka heiau, e malama I ka heiau, e malama pono I ka heiau, e malama I ka heiau, e malama I ka heiau, e malama pono I ka heiau, e sky, sea and stone, hold this land in sacredness. Earth and sky, sea and stone, hold this land in sacredness. Now,
Hey.
all of you who are willing and able, if you would stand, you can dance along with us. You can, if you're not able to stand, you can do the motion seated, but it's a whole lot more fun to dance like nobody's watching, right? I've heard there are Mai Tais in Fellowship Hall afterwards.
Virgin Mai Tais. Virgin.
They are virgin Mai Tais, but
Unfortunately.
you'll get the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try it. Be brave.
Yeah.
E malama I kahea, e malama I kahea, e malama pono I kahea, e malama I kahea, e malama I kahea, e malama pono I kahea, earth and sky, sea and stone, hold this land in sacredness. Earth and sky, sea and stone, hold this land in sacredness. Thank you so much. You guys are wonderful.
I noticed everybody was really strong on the A part. A. And thank you, Cindy. Good job.
We really appreciate your willingness. It just shows what a great congregation this is, that so many of you were willing to, and some of you are really good. You're ready to go to Hawaii. So, as a few closing remarks, I would just like to say that while we may feel we are in the dark times now, our country has a dark history of white supremacy and colonialism, massacres and encampment of the indigenous people of this land, slavery and atrocities against black communities. As a very young person, I used to play in a small friends and family combo. It was one of the ways I worked my way through college. Ironically, I played the Hawaiian steel guitar way back then. I guess the seed was planted. Though I have not for many years now, I've not played the Hawaiian steel guitar. We did one-night stand gigs, wedding receptions, anniversaries, big number birthday celebrations. We played golden oldies, early rock and roll, really early, and Hawaiian songs. We often closed the evening with Aloha, oi, farewell to thee, thou charming one who dwells in shaded bowers, a fond embrace ere I depart, until we meet again. I naively thought it was a nice way to say goodnight. A few years ago, I learned the real provenance of the song. The United States wanted a stronghold in the Pacific. House Joint Resolution 259, 55th Congress, second session, known as the New Lands Resolution, passed Congress. On July 7th, 1898, President McKinley signed the resolution into law, and the Hawaiian Islands were officially annexed to the United States. In a last unsuccessful attempt to return control of her homeland to Native Hawaiians, Queen Liliuokalani sent a letter of protest to the U.S. House of Representatives. She was imprisoned in her palace for 2 years. She wrote Aloha Oi as a farewell to her people. On August 21st, 1959, President Eisenhower signed the official proclamation admitting Hawaii as the 50th state. Although the citizens of Hawaii did vote on a referendum to accept the statehood bill, there are still some traditional Hawaiians who refer to Hawaii as an occupied territory. Jeffrey has agreed that we sing the chorus of Aloha Oi as a postlude today. I hope that this service has given you some thoughtful reflections and a renewed commitment to making a positive difference in caring for our planet home. Malama Aina, may it be so, and aloha.
Thank you very much, Judy. And let us now give freely and generously an offering to sustain and strengthen our shared religious community, a community of memory, hope, faith, and love. For we are now the keepers of its flame that burns for justice. Its dream of beloved community, its vision of a world made whole. First Unitarian Church of Toledo is primarily a self-supporting congregation, so members' pledges are important to us, but it would also help if you put a basket. There is a basket in the lobby for pledge payments and other donations. You who are seeing us on video, please use one of the suggested ways of giving that are on the screen. Thank you for helping Unitarian Universalism thrive in Toledo.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, and we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and color, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space,
jet pig. Come to join us in the Tech Bay. Jupiter, why are you here? What is it you want to say? Oh, you want Krista and Jeff, on behalf of the board, to inform the congregation that the time is now. The proposed budget is finalized based on the projections, and we need the finalized pledges.
Yes, Jupiter. Wendy and Marta have performed their duties, and it's time for us to take over. We cannot stress enough how important these last pledges are to the completion of this year's successful campaign and budget. So, Jeff and I have been going through the budget line by line, and we are down on our pledges this year, and we cannot have that happen because that means cuts. And you would hate to cut me or the Lays. And speaking of cuts, in June I'll be doing a sermon on bean counting, and Jeff and I have been counting the beans.
Very closely. And what, Jetpeg, you need a vacation? You've been working so hard? Well, where will you go? Oh, you're going to Disney World. Oh, why's that? Going to Hogwarts, of course. And then back home on the farm. It's been a pleasure working with you, Jupiter. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Bye.
Bye, Jupiter. Get your pledges in if you haven't, or up your pledge if you can. Up your pledge. Bye, Jupiter.
It's the coming soon part of our service where we tell you what's on the calendar for this week. We give some announcements, and we also let you know what's up for right after the service. Next Sunday, join us for Spiritual Forum in Fellowship Hall at 9:45 a.m. when Phil Park Thomas will begin a multiple-week series on conflict resolution. Even if everything is in accord and you have sweet harmony, this will still be useful. For the 11 a.m. service on May 4th, we'll celebrate spring with our annual flower ceremony. It's one of my favorites. Blooms have recently started to open in gardens, so bring flowers from home or ones that are store-bought. Just please don't pick wildflowers from parkland or private property without permission. And join in this festive time. The concept of the flower ceremony is that each person brings a flower to church. We place them in a common vase, and you take a ceremony, and you take a flower. It signifies community in a beautiful way. The flower ceremony was begun a little more than 100 years ago by Norbert Chopik, a Unitarian minister in Eastern Europe. Who spoke at First Unitarian in 1925.
Saturday, May 3rd, and every first Saturday of the month, our Nitwits and Fiberwork Orphans group meets at the church from noon to 2. Bring your own projects, and people often bring food too. And repeating what Judy has already said in the sermon, the Multi-Faith Council's Earth Day celebration will take place this afternoon from 2 to 4 at Holy Trinity Lutheran Church, which is east of our church on Glendale. Do not confuse it with Trinity Lutheran Church, which is west of our church. So Holy Trinity is down by Harvard before you get to the zoo, that direction. The final coming soon entry is for me to repeat the invitation for you to join us in Fellowship Hall after today's service for coffee, conversation, and social time, and our last Sunday of the month potluck, which today has the fitting luau theme. And if you didn't bring anything, that's okay. There's always plenty of food.
Let's have one more observance of spiritual practice. We have gone beyond ourselves with reflection about our local and world concerns and turned within for meditation, contemplation, and prayer. Now, recognizing the Buddhist thread in our congregation, we will share a time of metta, sending to all beings love, kindness, and compassion. We also have Wiccans, an earth-centered tradition among us, So I will follow by reciting the Wiccan Rede. May we, may all beings be well, be happy, be peaceful, be safe, awaken to the light of our true nature, and be free. And the Wiccan Rede, and ye harm none, do what ye will. And now as Cindy extinguishes the chalice, we will say the words for chalice, sending it forth. We send the flame from our Unitarian Universalist chalice with the love on which we center everything to fire up the world, spreading unity, generosity, interdependence, justice, pluralism, and transformation. Go in peace with a renewed commitment for caring for our earth and an Ohio version of Aloha spirit. Malama Aina, Aloha Oi, A. She did a good time for first time, right?
Until we meet again. You're welcome.
Bring your daughter back. The one that sings. Hi. So that should be easy. Bring them both.